Hi, Marvetta back. As promised, I am back for part 9 of My Life for You. I left off, Gilbert died, my husband of 17 years. I had been going to the hospital every night that I got off of work. I was working in the Pacific Palisades, taking care of an elderly lady for her son. And I would get off about 7 p.m. at night, and I would go straight to the hospital to see Gilbert. Gilbert never regained consciousness, so I would sit there by his bed and talk to him, share my day with him, whatever. But I would talk to him. I don't know if he could hear me or not, but I was there to be by his side no matter what. So, the law only allows you to be on life support for like 13 days, 12 or 13 days, and it was the 13th day, and I was told that he had to be taken off of life support that night. So that night I get to the hospital. His mother, his brothers, and his sister was there at the hospital, and my beloved Hazel, my friend Hazel, she showed up at the hospital. She came in a wheelchair. Bless her heart. She was there to support me during my time of need. They waited a long time. We were there for like hours before they finally came into the room and took Gilbert off of life support. At that point, I broke down. I left the room. I couldn't stay any longer. I sat on the edge of his bed and was holding his hand. But it was so hard. It was so hard. I had to leave. I went out into the hallway. I went down the hall. And one of his brothers came down and tried talking to me. Of course, I was in tears. Well, that night, after they moved Gilbert out of intensive care, they put him in a regular room, and his brother and I went up to his room and sat on his bed for a couple of hours with him, and we talked. We talked, and finally we decided we should go home and get a little bit of rest. We knew the hospital would call us if there was any changes at all. So we both went our respective ways. I went home and he went to his home, and early that morning I got a call from the hospital just before 8. And the hospital told me I should get there right away. So I did. I jumped in my car and drove straight to the hospital, and Gilbert was gone by the time I got there. I went into his room and he was just lifeless. I took some pictures. His brother took some pictures because we knew it was the very last time we would ever see him. It was a very difficult morning. Very, very, very hard. I went home after we were in the room for a while. The hospital administrator wanted to talk to me. So I had to go down to the hospital's office and talk to the administrator, and they decided that Gilbert had died of natural causes, so there would be no autopsy. Because he died in the hospital, he did not die at home. If he had died at home, they would have done an autopsy. But he died in the hospital under doctor's care, so there was no autopsy. Anyway, when I got to the hospital, he was gone, and I had to go down to the administrator's office to fill out some papers, and they spoke with me. They told me since he died in the hospital, there'd be no autopsy. So that was fine. I left from there. I went home. It was the weekend, so I wasn't working. I went home and cried my heart out. I did have a life insurance policy on Gilbert, thank God. It wasn't for very much, but it was some money to help me get through a hard time. So that came in handy. I had Gilbert cremated. We had a memorial for him on the beach. My friend Valen helped me arrange that. And there were people that came, people that knew him. And we had some food. This was all done on the beach. His friends did help out. And that was that. My next video, I will tell you about my reunion with my son, my Tommy. Okay, thanks for watching and listening. I'll be back. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. God bless. Bye.